When Hiccup and Toothless discover an ice cave home to hundreds of new wild dragons and a mysterious dragon rider, the two friends find themselves at the center of a battle to protect the peace. This is my review of How to Train Your Dragon 2. For those of you that didn't see my review for the first How to Train Dragon, then you should know that I thought that the first How to Train Dragon was a fantastically well-made animated movie. And when I heard that they were making a second one, I was like, oh yeah, can't wait now. And for those of you that don't know, I had this movie at number 15 on my top 15 most anticipated movies of this year. And when I saw the first teaser trailer, I was like, oh yeah, this looks good. But then when I saw the first official trailer for the movie, I was like, yeah, this is good, but it seems like they sort of spoiled something that they shouldn't have spoiled. But I have to tell you guys that after seeing How to Train Your Dragon 2 with my dad, it is up there with the first How to Train Your Dragon, and I think it is just slightly better than the first How to Train Your Dragon. The good points. Like with the last How to Train Your Dragon, I think the best thing about this franchise so far is that it appeals to all the age demographics. So whether you're a kid, whether you're a teenager or an adult, you'll love this movie, or at least think it's a good movie. Because there are things that kids will like, adults will like, teenagers will like. And there are themes in this movie that I think that are really good for children, and I think that adults will like as well. Also, like with the last movie, I thought the animation in this movie was stunning. And not just the animation, I think just the designs of like the landscapes and of the characters and the dragons. Because the landscapes have changed throughout this movie, there are dozens of different dragons with their own unique features to them. And the events in this movie take place a few years after the first How to Train Your Dragon, so the characters have grown up a little bit more. And that's another thing I like about this movie, was the fact that they aged their characters from the first movie when they were teens in their early teens, and in this movie they're teens in their late teens. And the reason that I like that was because it adds more character development to the characters. And speaking of character development, I think the next best thing about this movie is the writing. Like with the last movie, I thought that the character development in this movie was done really well. And I like the story that's surrounded by these characters because it's really well crafted. And from what I'm hearing, the story in How to Train Your Dragon 2 is like really different from the books. For those of you that don't know, this franchise is based off of the children's book series called How to Train Your Dragon. And from what I'm hearing, the story in the books is really different from the story in the movies. For me, it's fine because I've never read those books, and even if I had read those books, I think I still would have thought that this was a great movie because it had a really great story. And the last thing I'll say about the writing is that the writers put in this surprise that I didn't see coming in this movie, because it was a kids movie and I didn't think like this thing would happen, like this surprise. And when it happened, I was like, wait, what? Wow, that is really good and surprising. And I'll talk about that moment in the spoiler section. I was saying this in my review for the first How to Train Your Dragon, but what's it called since this is an anime movie? Like, what's the cinematography called? Is it still called cinematography or like camera work or whatever? But whatever it's called, I thought that the camera work or whatever was done really well. The way this movie was shot and the fact that it was mixed with this incredible animation made the movie look amazing. And there were moments in this movie where I thought, man, this looks spectacular. Another thing that was good in the last movie that was good in this movie was the voice acting. The original cast came back to voice the characters along with a few new people in the voice cast. And I thought that everyone did a great job, including the new people, because I thought that they brought out the emotional depth of these characters. The final good thing I'll say about this movie is the fact that it's still open-ended for the franchise and there can be another movie. And with what this movie had to offer and where it ended off, I would like to see another movie just to see like where these characters are in the next movie. Are there any bad points about this movie? In my opinion, no, because it went along the same lines as the last How to Train Your Dragon, which was they went along the path that they wanted to take, and they made every second count in this movie, and they went through a few detours that I didn't see coming and that were surprising to me. So no, I didn't see any problem at all in this movie. Like I said, I saw this movie with my dad. My dad gives this movie a 3.5 out of 4 stars, while I give it 4 out of 4 stars. Like I said, I thought it was an incredible animated movie. I think it's just slightly better than the first How to Train Your Dragon. If you're into anime movies, then I think you'll like it. And like I said, I think it's for all age demographics. So if you have a kid, then go and see it. And even if you don't have a kid, I think you should still see it because it's a great movie. Alright, spoilers for How to Train Your Dragon 2. If you haven't seen this movie yet, then get out of here now because I'm going to be spoiling the major surprise in this movie and the ending for you. So if you haven't seen this movie, then I'm giving you a fair warning. Get out of here now, or there, or wherever the doorway is. So the thing that I was surprised about in this movie was the fact that Hiccup's father dies, and I did not see that coming. I was like when it happened, I was like, whoa, what? Because when Toothless breathes out that fire blast at Hiccup, and when Hiccup's father takes the fire blast when he gets in the way of it, and I thought he was gonna be out for the entire movie, but he was still gonna be alive. But no, he was killed off, and I was like, wow, that is really emotionally deep for a kids movie. And I'll be honest, I was starting to get watery eyed because I was like, holy crap, I did not see that coming. That is really emotionally well done. As for the ending, yeah, I like the ending. I like how Hiccup becomes the tribe leader of Berk and how Toothless becomes the alpha of the dragons. And I like to see where these characters go into the third movie because we didn't see Drago die or anything. The last scene we saw him in was when all the dragons were attacking the alpha, and the last scene we saw was Drago cover himself as fire came and the smoke covered the screen, and that was the last thing we saw of him. And then the alpha went into the ocean or the sea. So yeah, I think he's still around, and that we're gonna see him in the third movie. So that's my review for How to Train Your Dragon 2. Hope you guys liked it, and other than that, that's it.